My pleasure. What a day in Southern California. Sunny California.
Very, very nice.
And you've brought out a couple really beautiful cars today. Certainly the Timbs Special, which is something like I've never seen. But these Hudson Italias have always, I found very intriguing. And I've only seen one other one, but you tell me there's not too many to begin with, right?
No, as we understand, it was originally supposed to be a production run of 26, but there were 6, I believe, brought to the U.S., 5 that are together, 1 that's in pieces.
Well, all of those now orphaned marks, like Kaiser and Nash and Hudson, we're trying these radical things right along towards the end, in kind of a last gasp effort to stay alive.
Yeah, they needed something to pump up their image and to get people in the showroom. I don't think they ever thought of producing this car as a mass market car. It just wasn't going to appeal to enough people. But it would bring people into the showroom, would bring people to the booths in the auto shows. So that's what these were made for.
Now this was built in Italy though, right?
They had the best panel beaters around.
Absolutely.
I mean, they could make an aluminum body just look gorgeous, and they could make them quick, and they could make them inexpensively.
Amazing. So because of that, they're probably not, this side's not the same as that side. And
no, I think Giuseppe did the right fender and Luigi did the left fender. Because if you look at it, you can't see the difference. But if you actually get out and measure them closely, every one is slightly different.
Wow. And what a wild interior. It's so spacey, so spacey.
Very George Jetson, isn't it?
It is.
And this car is completely original. It's original paint, original interior, original carpet.
The dash is interesting. Is it padded or what is that?
No, it's an aluminum dash, and it was then painted with a crinkle finish.
And that's the original crinkle finish?
It's the original crinkle finish.
Goodness, it's really holding
the car's only gone a little over 12,000 miles since new. So there's a few little marks here and there, but we kind of like that. That gives it age, kind of like me. So,
character.
Character. I'm not being rebuilt, so neither is the car, as long as it keeps running.
But these taillights, this rear end is one of the wildest things I've ever seen. That's kind of, thruster, jet.
It was obviously the rocket theme, and these are the taillights, turn signals, and backup lights are all built in there.
So these were all the jet platform, and they were powered by the jet 6-cylinder engine, right?
All of them except for this car.
Really?
This car started that way, but it didn't end up that way.
Well, let's go have a look and see what's in there.
Okay.
Gary, that looks like a Chevy engine.
It's a 265/55 Corvette engine.
Wow, did you do a swap on this?
No, like I said, this was done by Hollywood Sports Car. It bolted right up to the bell housing collection transmission. So they just had to put some engine mounts in it, change the electrical because the rest of the car is 6-volt, but the engine, of course, had a 12-volt starter and a 12-volt generator. So they changed that. Other than that, the car stayed that way, and now it had the performance so that a sports car person would be interested in it.
She runs, and you do drive it, right?
It runs very well. We drive it regularly.
It's a gorgeous day here in SoCal, and I was wondering if we take it out.
I think we should do
that. You wouldn't mind if I drove it, would you?
Oh, I think you probably should.
Gary, thank you so much. Let's go.
Okay.
Welcome back to My Classic Car. So, Gary, this is a really rare car. Were you always looking for an Italia, or how did you come to even know of the Italias?
Well, the first time I saw one was at the Peterson Museum some years ago, and here was this Italia sitting there. I spent about 20 minutes squatted down looking at it from every angle, and my wife finally had to drag me away, and I had the museum director give me the owner's name, and I called him. He gave me a list of all the owners. He didn't want to sell his.
That's a very short list, though, right?
5 people, and I wrote them all letters offering to buy their cars. Got no response from anybody. First page I would turn to in Hemmings every month was the Hudson section looking for Italias. So at any rate, he then took it to the Peterson Museum for the auction that was being run there by Barrett Jackson. And they put it in the auction on no reserve. And my wife and I were actually there talking with Bruce Meyer, and we were waiting for a car that was coming up later in the auction. And I threw out a couple little help you bids to the auctioneer.
And you ended up with it?
just to get this thing to go by. Oddly enough, I bought the car for $16,000 in a really dilapidated, with commissions, it was $17,200.
And how long did it take to bring it to this point?
After 4 years, I gave up, sent it to Custom Auto in Loveland, Colorado. They spent another 3.5 years for a total of 5,500 hours.
The paint's stunning. Quite a lot of sparkle in it. You got metal flake in it?
No, it's very interesting. Norman Timbs, when he did this car, he decided he wanted to put gold flake, real gold,
like gold
in the
gold?
paint. Gold,
like gold.
And he shot this maroon color with the gold in it. He's the very first person to do that. So
what did you use?
We decided we had to do it the same way. So we used actual ground up gold. About that same time, the dollar was getting a little weak, and people were saying you're supposed to buy gold. They just didn't tell me you weren't supposed to grind it up and put it
Spray
in
it on
your
your car.
You know, so now I understand it's going to be a little hard for me to get my gold back.
How
But
much gold went into this paint job?
about 3 ounces.
Now, again, it's so wild that, there's not even room for an engine up here. This is a mid-engine car.
Yes,
the
it is.
engine's back there,
That is correct.
and it's a straight 8.
It is a straight 8.
How do you get to it?
Well, you have to lift the entire back up to get to the spare tire, to get to the fuel tank, to change the rear tires, or to service the engine.
That looks like a 2-man job.
No, actually, it's a 1-finger job.
It's power. And
Yes,
did you
it
guys
is.
do that, or?
No, it was originally that way.
In 48, he put a power lift on this.
That is correct.
Let's open her up. Wow.
Takes a little while. It's not real fast.
But that's a lot to lift. Well, and there's your spare.
That's actually a very easy spare tire to get to once you get the body up, and of course now you can get the rear wheels off.
And there she is. Wow. And so that's that's a Buick Straight 8, right?
It's a Buick Straight 8. It was a 1947 crate engine with the transmission behind it.
I think of that as being a huge, long engine, the Buick Straight 8, but in this huge, long car, it doesn't look so big.
Yeah, it is a big engine, and it's a very heavy engine, but yes, it's sitting exactly in the center of the chassis.
I mean, this is insane, and I know you got it for 17,000, but you got $1 bazillion in the restoration. Do you drive it at all? I mean, this does run, right?
No, absolutely. It's just come out of restoration. We just were at the Amelia Island Concours, and it's just come back, so we have very, very few miles on it. It probably has less than 20 miles on it.
Can we put a few more on it today?
I think we probably can.
Well, let's lower it down, then let's talk about who's driving.
Well, we'll have to discuss that a little bit.
Let's put this name, Gary, old buddy. Welcome back to My Classic Car.
Push the button there, and a little bit of gas, and it should start.
This is their contact.
Contact.
And she starts. What a feel. What an amazing feel. And this was created in 48?
He started in 47, and he finished in 48, and it was the cover road and track in 49.
Wow, do you have that issue?
We have that issue.
Oh, that had to be.
A few copies of it. That was actually the second issue. That was right at the very beginning.
Second issue of Road and Track?
Yeah. It was a cover car.
What
Not much of an article, but it was a cover.
What a cover, though. What a cover car
Yeah.
for your second issue.
And then it's been in over 40 other period publications that we found so far.
Well, did it create a stir back then? Or, I mean...
It seemed to by the articles that were written amongst car people and amongst race car people. Needless to say, by now you probably noticed he never put a rearview mirror in it.
Yeah,
either.
I know I noticed that
So
earlier.
I guess he went by the Italian saying, what's behind you does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
So,
we don't care.
And of course, obviously no windshield wipers, no top. All those things were unnecessary for a true sports car in Southern California. Wouldn't have worked too well in Michigan.
No. But there's just nothing on the planet that looks like this.
No. It's kind of become, our favorite car and become the gem of our collection.
So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.